Am I live now? I hope I'm live. Oh. Creating all kinds of ruckus already, Marcy. Hey, everybody. Well, I should just say, hey, AK. Hey, Spots. What's going on, D? Hi. Oh, thank you, Spots. It's so kind. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope everybody's had a good week so far. Everybody is safe. Hi, Chrissy. How you doing? Everybody's been keeping safe and doing okay. Holding it down. And I want to thank those of you that are coming in for coming to hang out with me for a little while. I know I'm kind of late talking about The Witcher, but I still wanted to talk about it. So hopefully y'all will indulge me in having that conversation. Oh, hopefully y'all have already seen the series or / read the books or both, because I'm probably going to go back and forth between the two while I talk about it. So hopefully everybody is kind of up to speed, or at least has an idea of what I'm talking about. And let me know in the chat how many people have either read the books or seen the show. Hey, Forrest. So how many of y'all have either read the books or seen the show? I hope y'all can hear me. Okay, AK, you've seen the show. Okay, Chris, you've read all the books or just... Hey, Aaron Water, what's up, sis? How you doing? Happy Friday. Okay, so hopefully you've read The Last Wish and The Sword of Destiny, which is basically what the first season of the show is based upon. Yes, spoilers. Thank you, AK. There will be spoilers. If you have not read the books or you have not seen this first season, this may not be the stream for you to watch unless you don't care about being spoiled, because I am going to reference the books and the show. Oh, The Lady of the Lake was good. It really kind of brings everything together. Hey, sister. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, so you've seen The Witcher, so right, sister? You're very sweet, OTDA. You're very sweet. Thank you. Oh, and Sabine happens to be my sister. She's number 2. She comes right after me. Just for full transparency. Okay, so I just want to start off then I'm just going to start off and say, overall, I thought it was a really great series. I enjoyed watching it. Okay, Chrissy. I enjoyed watching it. It was very entertaining. I thought I enjoyed the casting. I thought everybody who was cast, the role that they played, I think um, everybody was cast appropriately. I didn't have a problem with it. I know there was, I know when they were first announced that they were going to be doing this series. Hi, Benjamin. Um, Thank you for listening. I know when they decided to do the show that there was a lot of discussion and about who they were casting in what role. I know there was a lot of back and forth about, the actors that they had chosen to play certain characters. And I understood where a lot of people were coming from, but in any case, I thought all the actors that they chose to play the parts, I didn't have a problem with. I thought the only thing, though, if I had to say that, I don't know if it's more necessarily an issue. It's just puzzling how they decided to tell the story, like their sequencing. If that's the right thing for me to say. I had a problem with I didn't have a problem, but I just didn't understand the sequencing and how they chose to tell the story. Um, it just, they did merge The Last Wish and the Sword of Destiny books together. Because if you were paying attention, or if you noticed, there was a lot of timeline jumps um, in the episode. During each episode, there was a lot of timeline jumps. So a lot of the whenever they would cut into a particular character, it was during a particular period of time. So it wasn't like it was sequential. It was just different periods of time they were telling these stories. And so I just found it a little bit, if you weren't somebody who was familiar with this, if you're somebody who's read the books and you watch the show, it would seem a little bit kind of weird the way they decided to tell it. I don't know how you guys felt. Just let me know how you guys felt about it. Okay, AK, they were confused by it. Yeah, just it didn't really make really good sense to me. But the one thing I do appreciate, though, is that they told Yennefer's backstory, because you don't really get it. You get bits and pieces of it in the books, but this was more seamless telling of it. Like they told it real seamlessly, and you kind of got a more um, you got a better understanding of who Yennefer is and what her background is, to kind of get a better idea of why her character is the way that she is. Um, Let me know in the chat how many people have seen the gameplay or seen the cutscenes of The Witcher. Like, there's three of them. There's The Witcher. There's the second one, which is called Assassin of Kings, and then there's the third one called The Wild Hunt. And in The Wild Hunt, there's like I think there's 2 or 3 different expansions of The Wild Hunt. I think it's Hearts and Wine. I think that's what it's called. Hearts and Wine. And there's another one. I'm trying to remember. No, it's Blood and Wine and Heart of Stone, something like that. I can't remember. It's been a while since I saw it. Oh, you did? The Witcher 3 is like really, really good. Like the whole gameplay, like the different, like that that the way that they made the whole landscape and the storytelling, the different side missions, and it it was very well done. It was very, very well done. Very well done. Oh, you should really watch. I would recommend that you watch the first one. Now, the first Witcher game, the the um the graphics are not, they're not really that good. But if you just need, if just watch one where it shows you all the cutscenes, just so you can get an essence, because the gameplay, the first Witcher gameplay actually picks up after the end of the last book, like maybe like a few years after the ending of the last book. So and you kind of get to see, you get a little bit of storytelling about Geralt and all that. No, they haven't put out a new season of The Witcher. It's just one. It's just the one season. Yeah, it's really good. Again, the graphics are not that good, but the actual um the cutscenes. If you watch the one that has like the cutscenes, it kind of gives you like a story. It gives you the story of what happens to Geralt after the last book. Sort of, sort of. You really don't really get more into it until the second one, which is Assassin of Kings. Yeah, yeah. So, and I think probably what they're going to do is when they pick up with the next season, they'll probably pick up with book one, which is The Blood of Elves. So, but this particular series was based off of The Last Wish and The Sword of Destiny. Um, so, what was everybody else's overall thoughts on the show? I'm curious to know, what did you guys think about it? I think the chat is like delayed for me. I agree with you, AK. Henry Cavill was perfect as Geralt. Yes, so was Yennefer. I think she was perfect as Yennefer. She was perfect. I truly, I don't even remember her name, but she was she did a fantastic job. Um, I think they kind of downplayed. Um, they downplayed. Okay, okay, so I'm not losing my mind. um, I think they downplayed um, Triss a lot, but I can understand why, because again, this first season is really based on the first the Last Wish and the Sword of Destiny. And so I loved her as a why am I drawing a blank? Calanthe. I thought she was perfect as Calanthe. She actually embodied Calanthe's. If you read when you read the books, if you get around to, I truly highly recommend that you read The Last Wish and The Sword of Destiny. Now, Calanthe is more so in, I think that's how you spell her name. I think it's more Calanthi. I have to wait. Let me double check because I got the books. Yeah, but her name is Calanthe. Hey T. And she is just as much of a yeah, she's just that extra in the book. She's just as extra. And the girl roaming through the forest, what was that about? Now that's okay. That's another thing that got me confused about that's another thing that got me confused about the show. Ciri's storyline. Like, thank you, T. I don't understand why the whole sequence of Ciri's storyline. If they were, I don't understand why they didn't choose to do it the way that it's in the books, because they had all the characters there. It wasn't like they had to let me gather my thoughts. And I don't want to spoil the book for anybody if anybody wants to read the books. But the way that they chose to tell it on the show, or the way that they showed it on the show, is totally different than what it is in the books. And it didn't make sense to me because they had the characters there. So it didn't, it's not like they had to do anything extra. You had Geralt, you have Ciri, you had Meshach. Why not tell the story that way? You were going to go through the forest of Brokilon. So it wasn't like you had to do anything extra. So they totally made that whole part of the story it's like they made it up or something. I won't say they made it up. They just totally changed the way that whole thing went. They just totally changed it, and they totally left Geralt out of it when Geralt was actually that was a very essential part of the story, because this is where Geralt and Ciri first meet. And so by the time you get to the end of the show where she and Geralt are running to meet each other, when you're looking at it, it doesn't make any sense, because she asks like this really off the wall question about who is Yennifer. And people, I don't know about y'all, but if you were somebody who wasn't familiar with the story, you'd have probably been like, what in the dang, what is going on here? I don't get it. There was I think there were 4 different timelines during the show. I think they were showing 4 different timelines in the show, T-Baby. Hey, House, how you doing? Yeah, I think they were showing 4 different timelines. There was Yennifer back when she was still a teenager. That's a particular timeline. Then Yennifer, after she, goes through her transformation, and becomes the mage in what was that? What kingdom was that? I can't even remember. That's a particular timeline. The whole story with Calanthe and her child, that whole story with Calanthe and her daughter, that's one timeline. And then Calanthe again during the war, that's a different timeline. I mean, they were skipping back and forth in so many different timelines during that whole first season. If you're somebody who isn't familiar with the story, I wouldn't blame you for being confused by it. No, he's not a deadbeat dad because he can't have children. So technically he's not a deadbeat dad because he can't have children, but he does essentially end up becoming her father in a sense, in the end, because when he invoked the law of surprise, that's not how they showed it in the show, but he invokes the law of surprise. That means that whatever child Pavetta and Dooney actually would have, that child would be tied to him because, AK, if you read the books, he is a fuckboy, but not in the same way as Rhaegar. Hey Sam, I didn't see you pop in, or did I? And I didn't even say I said hi and didn't say hi, but now that I'm seeing it, yeah. He did look good in that bath, did he not? He did look bad. He did look good in that bath. And I know you were paying attention to all the titties that he was serving. Yeah, so what was so they jumped a lot of different timelines. Yes. Let me tell you. So it's the law of surprise. So if I think they touched it Yes, he does. If you read the books, Geralt be getting it in. And it's like people be throwing themselves at him, because he's a mutant and, he's got those eyes and, he's got a little bit of swag and he's got a chip on his shoulder. If you didn't get that from the show, he has like a real chip on his shoulder. Hey Renee, how you doing? I'm so happy to see you. Yeah, he is, but I guess because he's a mutant and everybody is, he kind of really attracts the ladies, and because of the fact that he is a mutant and he has to take these potions, it also talks about the fact that they have a very strong libido, so that's why they always, and if you've seen any of the gameplay, you also notice that he be getting it in the gameplay also. So yeah, he's something else. He's something else. Guaranteed in every book that you read, in almost every chapter, he got something. Or there's they allude to the fact that he had got some. It's all good, T. It's all good. So yeah, I don't. For anybody who just came in the chat, have y'all read the books? Okay, Renee. Yeah. It's kind of the way that they did the show. I was just saying earlier, the way that they did the show, I enjoyed it. I I'm not going to say that I didn't enjoy the show. I just found that the way that the way the sequencing of the show, I was just like very confused by it, because it's not like it's a very it's not a very complicated story to tell. It's not like Game of Thrones where you have like a whole bunch of characters and side characters. You with each story, there's a set of characters that you're introducing, and that you can tell the story, because everybody is when people are when the story is being told, people are together, so it's easy for you to kind of tell the story that way. But I believe they just chose, for some reason they just chose not to do that, and I'm just kind of like, some things they kept, and then other things they decided not to. And the one thing that they decided not to was the relation between Ciri and Geralt. I don't know why they kept them separate throughout the whole story and waited until the end. You know what I mean? Yes, the ending is somewhat the same, but they had already met before in a earlier timeline. And the timeline where you see Ciri going through the forest of Brokilon, and she's with that elf boy. She that whole time, that in the books, she's actually with Geralt going through the forest of Brokilon. She's not with this elf boy, because this is where Geralt and her first meet, and Geralt saves her. And so she's actually going through, but I don't know why they didn't, I don't know why they didn't just didn't just tell the story that way. I mean, that the little boy elf, he's kind of like one of those extra characters that they just threw in just for the sake of, I guess, to have a character there. He didn't really need to be there. And so I don't know. Because Sam says because they want to keep people for future seasons. Well, they're gonna have, I mean, they're definitely gonna have Henry Cavill, and they're gonna have the little girl. So I don't know why you wouldn't have put, told the story in that same way that it was told in the books. I mean, they did. That boy elf, yeah, he's a show only character. He's not in the books. He's not. First of all, the forest of Brokilon has no men. It's all women. And again, the fact that they even let that little boy in, that would not have happened. Don't worry, you'll get more bath. Well, if you read the books, there's plenty of bath times. I don't know if they're going to show all of the bath times in the show, though. No, he's not in the books, Renee. He's not in the books. So I don't know. And he's not even in the gameplay. So I don't know. Most of the male elves that you'll see are all already grown. There are no children. There are no children elves, because they don't go into it in the prequel books, but as you read the actual main story books, they talk about the history of the elves. I mean, they touched on it a little bit in the sequence where Geralt, and he's called Dandelion in the books, where Geralt and the guy who plays the lute, his name is Dandelion in the books. When they are fighting with that goat head dude, they meet these elves, and so they go through the whole story of the world that they lived in was originally created by the elves. And so when men came into it's going to get real Tolkien real quick. And then men came, right? But what happened was when men came, the elves, who have a very long lifespan, thought that men would die out, but they didn't. And so men pretty much do what men do. They take shit over. And so the elves, pretty much they built the land that men are enjoying and living and inhabiting. And then when that happened, they pretty much just kicked them out. And so, yeah. So, yeah, they probably did want a black character. Now, mind you, they do have people who are of dark skin that come from the South. I believe they're from not Nazir. There's another part of the world where it's further south where they come. Yeah, they come from, and they are of darker skin. So again, they have, I mean, there's plenty of material that they could have used. And don't get me wrong, I'm okay if they want to put like an extra character, because it's a TV show, so they have to do a lot of extra storytelling. I get that part. And so I guess, you could have made one of the soldiers a black guy, because you made one of the mages white, like the woman who plays Fringilla. She's a black actress. Fringilla, when you look at Fringilla's Gwent card, she's white. And there was like a whole big controversy about that when they were announcing the casting of who was playing who, and there was a lot of people who was up in an uproar that they were, they had like a diverse cast. Even the woman who plays Triss, right? The woman who, now mind you, the woman who plays Triss, she's, I believe, I know she's European. I can't remember where. But anyway, if you look at Triss in the gameplay, they have her as a redhead. But if you read the books, Triss has chestnut wavy hair. So, I didn't really have a big deal about it. It wasn't a really huge deal to me about how they decided to cast it, because they're gonna interpret the character how they want to interpret it for aesthetics, right? Because the way that they portrayed, hey Lauren, yo, I've been binging you reading poetry, girl. You've been giving me all my life. Yeah. So they wanted, I guess they wanted to have a more diverse cast because they wanted to appeal to a wider audience, which I can understand. But then you have a lot of people who are, who are book purists, for lack of a better term, who want the characters to look exactly how they are described in the books and how they're portrayed in the Gwent games. And it was no different than how it was with Game of Thrones and people who are like book purists, saying how they, this is who should have played who in the show, blah, 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 blah. It was no different. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I don't really have that big of a problem with the way that they decided to, the actors that they chose in order to play the characters. We live in a world right now where they try to appeal to mass audience. And so to me, as long as they tell the story, they tell the story right, or they keep true to the original source material, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I mean, the main characters, the main characters, well, well, I should say the main characters of the series are are Geralt and Ciri. Yennefer is actually more of a secondary character, but she plays a huge role because she is Geralt's main love interest, and she becomes an adoptive mother to Ciri. So even, but that will be like when they come back with season two. But if you've read the books, um, well, if you read the books in the first book of the main series, which is The Blood of Elves, that is where Yennefer and Ciri actually meet. Now, I don't know how they're going to translate that in the show, so I don't want to um, give away too much if you haven't read it and you're just looking to just watch the show. Right. That's right, AK. Like you're not going to please everybody, and I think people who create these shows understand that they're not going to please everybody, and you know, so that's why they have to do a really good job of telling the story. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, they have to do a really good job of telling the story so that people can look past who the actors are that are portraying the characters. Like if you do a good job of portraying the character, they kind of they will. I think most audiences will kind of overlook who it is that's who's portraying it. You know what I mean? What the color of their skin is, because if you embody who the character is, they're gonna yeah. Girl, I've been trying to glow up, Renee. I'm trying to get my glow up on. You know what I mean? I've been like down and out. Let me not even get into the story about where I've been these last 2 weeks and these last 2 years and what's been going on in my life. I'm just trying to do my glow up. I'm trying to get my glow up together. This glow up season. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. No, she didn't say she looked like Drogon right now. Y'all don't worry. I looked like Drogon yesterday. Well, I should say Joe. I more look like Whoopi Goldberg because my eyebrows are very thin. Yeah. So yeah, I just that was the whole sequencing thing. But again, I did enjoy that they told Yennefer's backstory, because you only get bits and pieces in the book. So I do like that they actually took the time to give you the full background of Yennefer. I wish they would have done the same thing for Geralt. If they were going to do it for Yennefer, I think they should have done the same thing for Geralt a little bit. But they did give you like flashbacks for Geralt. They did give you some flashbacks. So I guess we just got to take it for what it is. Yeah. Stop, woman. Yeah. So I have no idea why. Oh yeah, and another thing. I wonder why they killed off Meshach. Well, I can understand why they killed off Meshach, because he doesn't really have a role in the story past the Sword of Destiny. Like he doesn't. So I guess it's okay but they didn't really have to kill him, because in the books he's alive in the Forest of Brokilon, just providing seed for babies. Yo, okay, So, who wants to know about the story of Meshach's character in the books, The Sword of Destiny? For those of you who haven't read the books, who's interested in knowing? That game is Look, Sam. That game is not an easy game to play unless you're like really good with the, you know, with the moves and the combos. Yeah, it's not a very easy game. It's not a very easy game to play. You gotta be really like I've watched a lot of people play that game. I don't know if y'all remember Val. She was playing the first Witcher game and she was having a hard time with it. So yeah. Yeah. So Meshach. Now Meshach, when let me backtrack. Meshach takes Ciri to go visit the king in Kovir. And Kovir is north of Centra, where Ciri is from. So her grandmother Calanthe is trying to um, matchmake Ciri with the heir to Kovir, right? And so on their way back, she runs away. And when she runs away into the forest of Brokilon. Now, hi Linda. Now, yes, The Witcher can be a 2-player game if you're asking for a friend. So if you're asking for a friend. Hey, Major, how you doing? So when Ciri runs into the forest of Brokilon, remember I had stated before that the forest of Brokilon is only female. So it's a lot of female elves, right? And so what happens is there had been a war before. And so a lot of the female elves had died. They're like Amazon female elves. I don't know how else to describe them. And so in order to, and elves, when they reach a certain age, they cannot reproduce. And so what happens is what they had been doing in the forest of Brokilon is they've been taking girls, and they've been taking girls and having them drink from this tree. And then when they drink of the tree, they forget who they were before and they transform to becoming the new warriors. So they basically become new warriors, right? And so that is how they've been maintaining their ranks. That's just a quick backstory. So Ciri runs into the forest of Brokilon. And so because they don't allow men into the forest, anytime a man comes near, they have like watch posted in the edge of the forest, and then they'll shoot arrows at you if you try to come close. They'll shoot a warning shot, and if you keep proceeding, they will shoot to kill. And so what happened was, when Ciri ran into the forest, of course her guards, which included Meshach, tried to run in after her. And so they got shot, and Meshach had gotten shot and got caught up under some sort of a bush. Anyways, Geralt, yes, it is. Listen, there's another even disturbing version of taking girls. It's a whole nother story, which is in, I want to say it's not in the first book. It's in one of the prequel books. I want to say it's in the Last Wish. I want to say it's in the book The Last Wish. any hoots. So Geralt was on a mission to go into Bookclub to bring a message from one of the kings. And so he goes into the forest. He's given permission to go into the forest. And as he's walking with his escort to go into the forest, they hear a scream. It just so happened that it was Ciri, and Ciri was being attacked by this monster. And of course, Geralt and the young lady kill the monster, and that is how Geralt and Ciri first meet. And as they are I'm sorry, but before he meets with his escort, no, before he meets with his escort, he had heard another sound, and he comes across Meshach. Meshach had been shot, and he was bleeding, out, and he was caught under a tree. And so finally that's okay. That's okay. Friday nights is pizza night for me too, Renee. I get it. And so so when the other when the other elves come and they see him, Geralt asked them to take care of him and make sure that he's doing okay. And they said they promised to go ahead and take him and take care of him, or blah blah blah. And so Geralt then goes off with the escort, and on their way going off with the escort, they come across Ciri, and then they save Ciri's life. Boom. By the time they get into the inner forest where they meet the leader, right? When they meet the leader, he finds out that Meshach had already been taken there, and that they had tended to his wounds, and that he was recovering. So just before Geralt, a lot of things happen. There's a whole sequence, a whole story that happens between Geralt, the leader, and Ciri. And so at the end of what happens in the end is Meshach has to stay in the forest. He's not allowed to leave. And part of the deal of him being able to stay alive is that he has to father the future children of the women that are there, so that they can replenish their ranks. So basically, he's just there to provide. They questioned to ask him if he had any children, or if he had the ability to have children, and he did say yes, that he had children. And so that's the only reason why they're keeping him alive, is for him to procreate with them. So basically, that is how Meshach's story ends, is that he essentially becomes, he has to snoo. Drop a green heart if you get that reference. Snoo. Hey, Drawbridge Media. How you? Glad to see you too. Thank you. Oh, you haven't seen The Witcher yet? You have to watch it. It's good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's very kind. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Yeah, so that's Meshach's story. So he is condemned to a life of snoo. And I'm enjoying by the way, Luke, I'm enjoying you and your sister's podcast on, I've been binging you guys on, well, actually, I should be binging you guys on iTunes, but I've been binging you guys on YouTube. I've just been binging I started with Chrissy, and then I went to Lauren, and then I went to Luke and his sister. I'm slowly making my way around the realm. Thank you for stopping by and dropping a like. I really appreciate it. Yes, a great group, the best group of friends ever. hopefully we all can meet up at some point in the distant future in a galaxy not so far away. So that is the story of Meshach. And they kind of downplayed. Well, I guess they did. Thank you. Yeah. Snoof. I mean, snoof. I don't know. A life of indentured snoo. I don't know. Some guys might find that, you know, at first he was all excited about that, but then of course Geralt like bust his bubble and say, yo, you got to treat this like a job. This is not about, this isn't a pleasurable thing for them. This is just strictly business. They're just looking to procreate. Hi, human. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Oh, it's okay if you're not into The Witcher. That's okay. I mean, it's all good. But thank you for stopping by and dropping a like. I appreciate that. That's very kind. Yeah, so if you haven't had it, I would really recommend that you all read the last one. It's not long. It's a pretty easy. DJ, what's up? Hey, Mr. DJ, you can get this started. Everybody, oh, hold on. Let me not keep singing before I get a strike or something. How you doing, DJ? Long time no see, no hear, no that jazz. Well, yeah, that's not bad, Linda. You're probably going to want to read The Sword of Destiny because a lot of the scenes from, especially towards the latter part of the series, come from A Sword of Destiny. Yeah, even the thing with three jack doors. I mean, I don't get why they even killed off the king, because he's still alive. You know what it is? They replaced the king with a different character. That they left a character out. Don't worry, we all coming back. At least I hope we all are. It's just a, hey, Catherine. We have to they left a character out, so I think that's why they killed off the king, who happened to be Yennefer's quote unquote escort. That's why they killed him off. But there actually was another character there that actually ended up getting killed by the dragon, and I can't even bring myself to try to even pronounce his name. We're just gonna call him V-Dog, okay? We're just gonna call him V-Dog. Look at me, I'm being a grown person. I'm drinking. Oh, Sam, you funny. Yeah. So that I didn't get that part either. But like I said, I guess they just have to. And another thing that I found quite bizarre is how they chose to tell Fringilla's story. Because, again, in that particular timeline, in the Battle of Sodden, which is the story that they're telling. Now, in the books, when they talk about the Battle of Sodden, which they actually played out in the show, they don't play it out in the books. They just tell bits and pieces about it in the books, but they decided to actually show it in the show. I don't even know if that sounds right, but hopefully you're understanding where I'm coming from with that. They decided to, play it out in the show. Fringilla wasn't even. There was never any discussion of Fringilla ever being a part of that battle. One. Second, Fringilla is actually related to the king of Nilfgaard. So I really, again, which is something I don't know why they left that out, or why they didn't say it, or why they didn't put it as part of the story. Fringilla is from the south. She's, you know what I mean? She's from Nilfgaard. She is part of the Nilfgaardian realm. So it would have made the whole thing about Yennefer, the reason why they were trying to send Yennefer to Nilfgaard, but they didn't send Yennefer to, they didn't want to, they tried to play up Yennefer's elven, she was part elf. Oh man, I have no idea. I have no clue. I just, so it's going to be very interesting how they're going to be able to how they're going to play that up coming up with the second season, because I'm certain that the second season is going to be based off of the first book, and they have plenty of material to tell the first book. Seriously. Hey Pete, long time no see. How are you? I hope all is well with you and you're keeping safe. Thank you so much. It's Dose of Colors. I don't remember what color it is. If any of the girls want to go pick this up, you can get this at Ulta. Dose of Colors, or you can go to the Dose of Colors website, because they usually have a sale on Dose of Color website. Hold on, let me get the color for you guys if y'all want to know what it is. It's called Scarlet Lace. Hold up, let me be like a YouTuber. Can y'all see it? Did I do it like the YouTubers do it? Yes you can. Try it. I promise you, because you and I are similar in complexion, T baby. So if I can pull this off, you can pull this off. So try it. You'll love it. Yes, Major. Listen, Ulta, Sephora, Walgreens, CVS. Listen, y'all go pick this up. The color is Scarlet Lace. Scarlet Lace from Dose of Colors. It's a matte lipstick. You put it on, it don't go nowhere. It goes nowhere. And your lips don't feel crusty or dry, or like, you need like to put like, WD-40 on your lips after. It's great. I don't even know how I got into talking about The Witcher to wearing my lips. I guess this lipstick. Pick it up, girls. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. I think I'm gonna start. Every time I put lipstick on, I'm gonna start listing it in the description box for you girls, so y'all could go pick it up. Listen, I am okay. Let me get off The Witcher for 2 seconds. Okay, it's gonna be more than 2 seconds, but y'all get me. Hold on. Let me get me some light here. Right, just for 2 seconds. I am a lipstick junkie. Like, my lipstick collection is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, I only have a top lip and a bottom lip on my face. Okay? The amount of lipstick I have is absolutely ridiculous. Hi, Tawny. Welcome. Welcome. Have you seen The Witcher show, Tawny? Let me know in the comments. Listen, I love lipstick. Like, oh my God, I love lipstick. I just do. I love lipstick. I love lipstick. Listen, it's only hard if you make it hard, T-baby. Listen, you get you a nice lipstick and a nice lip gloss. You don't really need much of anything else. If you have mascara and you have a nice lipstick and a nice lip gloss, you're set. You're pretty much set. I'm not much of a foundation wearer, but I do like to wear powder because, you know, that's what my grandmother wore, and I'm just following what I'm not really into like heavy face makeup, but lipstick, yo, lipstick. Yes, I do coupons. Yes, I do. I want my points, and I do use my points towards future purchases. Yes. Yes, ma'am. See, you're a mess. Listen, you just listen. Whatever your undertone is, that's what. Listen, I have a very cool undertone, right? I'll have a very cool undertone. So most of the reds that I buy have a lot of more of a blue base in them. That's why I usually wear dark. I wear dark reds. I don't really wear bright reds. I mostly wear dark reds because I have more of a cooler undertone. And so the darker reds, like the blue based reds, I think complement me better than a bright red. You just have to find, if you want to wear red lipstick, you just have to find the right red for you based on your undertone. And the only way you're going to know that is you have to buy some red lipsticks and try them on. Trust me, I have like a whole bunch of red lipsticks that I had to try before I found the ones that really match me. So if you're somebody that has yellow undertones, you might be able to get away with a more pinkier red or a more orangey red. That will complement you if you have more yellow undertones, right? Those colors will you will be like MAC Ruby Woo. MAC Ruby Woo is like an iconic red lipstick. Iconic. Okay, Pete. I think everybody would see. Listen, now that y'all talking about bath time, who wants to hear another quick short story about a bath time with Geralt in the Sword of Destiny? Y'all let me know, and I'll tell y'all. Listen, y'all need to read the book. Y'all need to read the book. Y'all need to read The Last Wish, and y'all need to read A Sword of Destiny. Y'all need to read those two books. I'm telling y'all, y'all will get your life. Okay? Y'all get your life. Hold on. Let me tell you, yeah. Y'all need to read those 3 books. Okay? Get them, read them. Or audiobook. Do audiobook. I think the book is read by somebody named Peter Kenny, and I think he does an excellent job of narrating the story. I think he does it absolutely. Yes. You're right, Sam. Lady Danger. Lady Danger would actually be a really nice one. Right? Mac has another one that I just bought. Let me see what it's called. I can't even remember. Feel So Grand. Feel So Grand by Mac. Listen, find you an Ulta, you know what I mean? Or, order some red lipsticks. You don't even have to buy anything expensive. Like Wet and Wild has a really nice red lipstick. NYX has a really nice red lipstick. L'Oreal, Revlon has a really nice, comfortable matte red lipstick. I don't remember the name of it, but I'm telling you. Right, Pete? That The Last Wish. I'm telling y'all will get y'all life if y'all read The Last Wish. Y'all will get y'all life if y'all read The Last Wish. But who wants to hear the story about bath time with Geralt? And I think it was in The Sword of Destiny when he first met Three Jack Door and his two his two versions of the what are they called? What was Black Panther's guard called? My brain is like I don't know. I'm losing like brain cells. The AK, help me out. Well, if it's a thank you, AK, the Dora Milaje. So Three Jack Doors has his own version of the Dora Milaje, okay? And they skipped the bath time in the show. Now, in the show, you notice that, how it plays out, that they run up on, they was trying to, steal from Geralt, and Three Jack Door and his Queen's Guard and his, Dragon Guard came through and kind of kept them from stealing. But what you didn't know is they ended up in a tavern later on, and there was a special bath time where they all 4 was in the bath time together. All 4 of them had bath time. Geralt, Three Jack Door, and the Dora Milaje. Thank you, Sabine, and the Dora Milaje. Yeah, they all had bath time. Y'all have to read that. That's all I'm gonna say, and y'all need to read that. And I believe that's in the Sword of Destiny. Yes. Exactly, Pete. Exactly. They did not come to play. And you know what? Now the Zircanians are not black in the books, but they made them black in the show. Just saying. it's, I don't know. I think the actresses that they chose were absolutely beautiful, and they look. I thought they were amazing. I thought they were bomb. I thought they were bomb. I truly. They did that. They did that. So, but again, they didn't show them having bath time. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. So, yes, Sam. That's why I mentioned that Ruby Woo. Most everybody can wear Ruby Woo, and Ruby Woo is kind of like it's almost like a universal red. It's almost like a universal red color that pretty much almost anybody can pull off. Yeah, yeah. He had a special bath time with a Three Jackdaw and the Dora Milaje, the Circadian Queen's Guard. You know what you're talking about, Pete. You've been watching them YouTube videos. Hacks Dogma. What are let me see. What are you most excited about knowing will we be getting in the second season? Um, you know what? I'm I would be most oh, I didn't mean to put you. I'm really excited to see how if them going to back to Kaer Morhen or Kaer Morhen, however you want to pronounce it. I don't know which one works best for you, but I'm really excited to see them go back to Kaer Morhen and seeing Vesemir, seeing Eskel, seeing Cohen, and seeing that whole landscape. See, I want to see also. What I'm also excited to see is if they're gonna bring more of the elves into the story, like the squirrels. I want to know if they're gonna touch on that storyline as well. So those are the two things that I'm most excited about for for the second season. Um, if anybody is familiar, what are some things that y'all are looking for or hoping to gain a grain of truth? Yeah, I would really love to see Cameron like in the gameplay. If they can capture Cameron like they did in the gameplay, yo, that would be so sick. Did they? I wonder who they. You know what? I don't even want. I want to be surprised to see Francesca. I want to be surprised. See, that's also another thing. I don't know if they're going to show Ciri's training. Will they show Ciri's training? Are they going to go into into those little details? Because once you get into the first book, The Blood of Elves, there are no timelines to jump. You're just going through the story. They may have flashbacks. There may be some flashbacks to some things, but it's pretty much going to be a straight story. And they took a little bit of those flashbacks that Ciri has in the first book and put it in the show. So I don't know. Yo, Mark Hamill is playing Vesemir? That would be interesting. That would be really interesting. Hmm. Yeah, I really want to see Esco. I want to see Cohen. I want to see Vesemir. That would be dope. That would be dope. That would be really dope. And again, I'm like open to whoever they decide to cast, as long as they portray the story, as long as they portray the characters right and they do them good justice. And sometimes it's not really the actor's fault, it's the writers. You know what I mean? The actors can only do what the writers give them. So I want to see what happens to Yennefer, Ciri, and Geralt. Yeah. So for the majority of the book, for the majority of the first book, it's really Geralt and Ciri. Yennefer doesn't come more closer to towards the middle of the book, middle to towards the end. More so towards the middle, I should say. She comes in more towards the middle of the book. I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised at who when the season comes out. I want to be surprised when they do the posters, and then when they do the trailer. I want to be surprised. So I'm not even going to Google who the cast are. But if I happen to find out, I'm not going to be mad about it. But I'm not gonna proactively go looking. I want to be surprised because I didn't really pay attention to who they were casting this time around. I did know that Henry Cavill was gonna play Geralt because he had already like put his bid in and was like, yeah, I want to play it. Apparently, he had read the books and he was a really huge fan of the games. So, well, then that's good. They're giving some new people a chance, a shot. Oh, I've never watched Killing Eve. I think the actress that plays Eve is the girl that played the White Princess, Elizabeth of York, on I think in the White Princess. Hey JD, listen, I think my chat is like a lot slower, so I'm not catching things. I'm catching things late. Hey JD, yeah. Um, Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I hope yeah, but that is my biggest, those are the things that I'm most looking forward to. Karen Moran, and I want to see if they're going to touch on squirrel the whole squirrel elf storyline. Cuz you if you've watched or played the second Witcher game, Assassin of Kings, they touch on the elves that are known as the squirrels. They touch a little bit on their whole story. And let me just say, Yorveth is G for me in that whole in that game. Like I like Roach, but Yorveth is like G to me. Ah, thank you, Tony. Mm, wait a minute, you wasn't even talking about me. You was talking about them. My bad. So, who is your favorite cat? Let me know who your favorite character is so far. After if anybody who's seen the show, which character is your favorite if you have one? Okay, AK say Yennefer. JD is Ciri. Sabine is Yennefer. That is a given, T baby, that you are a Geralt fan. Well, you have to be specific to say Geralt, T baby, because there is more than one Witcher. Sam, okay, Sam is a Yennefer fan. Yennefer. Oh, we got a lot of Yennefer fans here. Oh my God, Yen Yen has Yen has like, mm, yes, she does. She's like, who is Yennefer? Oh no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Bath time, which to be exact. Yes, yes. Oh, we're definitely gonna have a live stream for season 2. I really wanted to. I don't know if you guys would be interested in doing a book discussion. Like we could talk about, we could do a chapter to chapter discussion about, for those of you who are interested in the books, like you don't necessarily have to read it, but since I've read them and I know some other people have read, if you want to join and do like a discussion to kind of get y'all up to speed with the prequel books before the second season comes, so that way you kind of get more familiar with the characters and what role they play in the story as a whole. Because another thing that I don't think anybody really got to really appreciate is the friendship between Dandelion and Geralt, because they're actually like really they're like BFFs, but they like downplayed their friendship for some reason in the in the show. And yes, like I said, Geralt has like a proverbial chip on his shoulder, but Dandelion is the one that kind of humanizes Geralt in a way. He kind of humanizes him because he knows Geralt so well that he's able to. And then Dandelion is that friend that always be getting into shit, and then of course Geralt has to go and save him. Yeah, JD, you like I don't know, they kind of like, oh, Outlander. You know what? I didn't watch Outlander after like I dropped off of Outlander like in the middle of season 2. Like I totally just dropped off. Like it lost me. It lost me after like in the middle of season 2. I think the last episode I watched was when I think it was the episode before Claire goes back in time. It's like, yeah, it just lost me. It totally lost me. Geralt. Oh, okay, Chrissy. Oh, we finally have a Geralt fan. My favorite is now. Usually, I don't have favorites in stories, like because I love all characters. Yeah, I'm like that cornball who can't pick a team and stay on it because I love everybody. But if I had to say I had a character that I liked the most, it would have to be Dandelion because they downplayed him in the show. In the books, that dude is ridiculous. Like he is all kinds of reckless. And it's like, yo, anytime Dandelion is around, I know it's a good time. I know it's a good time. In the games, Ciri is your favorite? Yeah. Ciri, let me tell you, they did a really good job of with Ciri's story arc in the game. Okay, Major, Geralt and Ciri. Now in the books, I prefer the all of the Geralt stuff over the Ciri stuff. That's just me. In the books, I prefer Ciri. To me is, I hate to make that analogy, but just to give a point of reference, right? Ciri to me is kind of like Dany. You know what I mean? She's like the Dany, because we always compare things to Game of Thrones, right? Or Lord of the Rings, or Star Wars. At least I do in my brain. Yes. Yes, he is. He is like the nimble Dick Crab, but on 10. On 10. Yes. Yes, AK. Exactly. Seriously, I everything, like, it's like if it doesn't have a close analogy to Game of Thrones, it's either Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, or Star Wars for me. It's one of those. It's gonna fall into one of those categories. Like, Geralt is kind of like Aragorn. He's kind of like Aragorn or Jamie, sans the without all of the, um a sister, sister. He doesn't do all that, and he doesn't kill children, because Geralt has a code. He has a code that he lives by. She does, like, Ciri reminds me of Dany, because she's like the chosen one. She is like, she has like this. She is the what is she called? What is she referred to as? Uh, oh, sweet Christmas. No, it's not ginger ale. Trust me, it's not ginger ale yet. No, we're not doing ginger ale. We're not doing ginger ale, because I said I was going to chill on any ginger ale talk for now. Yeah. What is she? She is. I can't believe I'm having like all these brain farts. You think Geralt is talkative in the books, JD? I don't find him very talkative. I know that he talks a lot of. I know that he has a really serious chip on his shoulder in the books, because he has this thing where, that's right, House Lordbridge. He's like the reluctant hero, right? Because he's very self-deprecating in the books. He is very self-deprecating. Like, he downplays himself because he's like he's a mutated human who kills monsters for money, but yet he lives by a code. T baby, I'm mad at you with this ginger ale. I'm gonna need you to cut that out. Because if you're gonna do ginger ale, that means you and AK and Sam gotta jump in, and we're gonna, compared to the game or the show, yes, yeah, okay, I can understand that. He's just very self-deprecating in the books. Like, he doesn't come off that way in the gameplay, and they didn't really show him that way in the show. But if you read the books, he's very, 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 very self-deprecating. Like, he's always like insulting himself. You know what I mean? Because he's he's mutated, and he killed, people. There's a lot of discrimination that goes around. Like, people discriminate against him, but they still need him because he kills monsters. So, yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that he's talkative in the books. I guess I don't notice it as being talkative, more so as being more so self-deprecating every time he talks. Yeah, assassin with morals. Yes, yes. Yes, I mean, there is the prophecy. Like she has the elder blood, right? Like for those, if you watch the show, her mother Pavetta also had the elder blood, and their progenitor Lara Doran, who you know what I mean, they get that elder blood from her. Listen, y'all just have to read the books to get it. Like it's not um okay, JD, be safe. Um it's not a overly complicated story, but it's complex enough where you're following this young girl who who has this special ability. Like you come to find out in the books that she is a medium, right? And so it's kind of like exactly, Chrissy. Yeah, so all up in time she has this ability. They know that she has this ability, but they can't really figure out what it is. And it's only until Triss comes to Kaer and actually witnesses her going through this trance that she identifies that she is actually a medium. So, and she foretells certain things. You know what I mean? The medium comes like she's used to foretell future events. You know? Yeah, yeah. So, and you know, she also has a chip on her shoulder. Ciri does. You know what I mean? She also has a chip on her shoulder. And and so it's kind of funny how alike her and Geralt are. Um, and I would say for the most part, yeah, they are kind of alike. Who is the female warlord character? Um, in the books, there is a warlord character, and her name is like the White. I want to say I don't want to say the I want to say they called her the White Fawn, but I need to be sure of that because she doesn't appear she doesn't appear until I want to say the third book, Baptism of Fire. No, Renfrey was part of the Butcher of Blaviken storyline. And Renfrey's story is she was part of a group of you little girls that they said was born under a certain sun or moon, and that they had like this curse that was on them. If you've ever seen the queen, the White Queen was a queen, and she did go out in the front lines with her soldiers. But there was another female commander. I want to say she was. I'm gonna have to look that up because it's gonna bother me. I'm gonna have to look at it. She was the one the wizard lied about, right? Ciri's grandmother. Ciri's Calanthe. Yes, Calanthe was also a she fought in the front lines with her. Well, in the show they showed that she fought in the front lines with her soldiers. Yeah. Which wizard lied about her? Oh, yes. That is the White Queen. That is the White Queen. That's in the third book, Baptism of Fire. Yes. Because her teeth got knocked out. Her teeth had got knocked out. And what's so funny is she knights him Sir Geralt of Rivia. Oh, the Butcher of Blaviken story? Yeah, that was Renfrey. Exactly. Because when Renfrey was born, she was supposedly, because of the moon under which she was, it was a black moon or something like that. And they said that she was cursed. And so her family pretty much like threw her out, tried to get rid of her. And the person that they took that was supposed, they gave this person money to get rid of her, and he ended up raping her and taking the money and leaving her. So she ended up having to fend for herself. And so, yeah, she was trying to gain vengeance on Stregobor. And Stregobor was hiding out in Blaviken. And when she comes across Geralt, and Geralt is trying to talk her out of it, and then they have this conversation about the lesser of two evils. Yeah, that was sad. That was sad. As sad as it was in the show, it's even more sad in the books. Because he didn't really want to kill her, but if he didn't, she was going to slaughter the people in the town. And what made it worse is all the people in this town didn't understand that Geralt actually saved their lives, because these people were going to actually kill them all if they didn't give up Stregobor. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, that was sad. But hey, the lesser of two was that the lesser of two evils? Hmm? Was that the lesser of two evils? Was killing Renfrey and her crew the lesser of two evils? Because it was either he killed them or they were going to kill everybody in the town. So I don't know. How does one reconcile that? Because as far as, it's kind of like what Jaime did, right? Jaime kills the Mad King. Here we go with a Game of Thrones reference. Jaime kills the Mad King because the Mad King was going to kill everybody in King's Landing. So, but he is, he is sworn to protect the king. Yeah, he is. So, it's kind of like, and I guess that's how Ned Stark's, saw it, right? Even Ned Stark didn't have the full picture, right? He didn't have the full picture. All he saw was that Jaime killed Aerys. He didn't understand the reason why that Jaime killed Aerys, because Aerys was about to kill everybody in King's Landing. But what Jaime didn't know is that his father had already come into King's Landing and started sacking and killing people anyway. So he did all of that to only have those people die anyway. Like, you know? So Geralt, in his mind, he's trying to save the people in the town, and hopefully he's trying to get Renfri to realize that it's not really worth it for her to go after Stregobor, right? He's not worth it. Killing him doesn't resolve anything. It's not going to change anything. But she's bent on vengeance, right? She's kind of like, she reminds me of Karstark, right? When both his sons die in the service of Robb, all he sees is red. He just wants to kill, right? His son died in battle. That's what happens when you go into battle. The likelihood of you dying is great, right? There's a great chance that you're gonna die if you go into a battle. And so his son died with honor, defending their king. But he's still a dad, and he lost not one son but two. And even despite he still had another son that was still living, he just cannot get over the grief of losing those two sons, and he just sees red. And so because he cannot kill the person responsible, he kills two other people, two innocent children. Right? Yeah, he killed the pyromancers, but I guess I get what you're saying, AK, but I guess in my mind, and I guess in the way that I understood Jaime to think when he did it, is because as long as Ares was alive, there were still other pyromancers in the capital that still would have followed his orders. So just because he killed that one pyromancer doesn't mean that there weren't other pyromancers that would have heard the order and gone and done it. So in order to be able to stop any of that from happening, that was the reason why he killed the pyromancer, to keep him from going to tell the others, and he killed Ares to keep him from having to tell anybody else. You know what I mean? And the reason why I draw the analogy is because was it really worth it for Jaime to really do it in the end? Because his reasoning for killing Ares was to save the people of King's Landing, right? But in the end, when his father came through the gates, he ended up killing the people of King's Landing anyway. So did it really make a difference for him to do it? Like, did he killed Ares for nothing? Did he kill him for, I mean, what he was trying to prevent, his father ended up doing, if that makes any sense. Right? And so for Geralt, he's not necessarily trying to save Stregobor, because I don't think he cares about whether or not Stregobor lives or dies, right? The people who he's trying to save are the people, the residents of Blaviken, because Renfri is threatening to kill them unless they give up Stregobor. And I don't think they were going to do that. You understand? So did it really, was it the lesser of two evils for him to have to kill Renfri to save the residents, knowing that Stregobor, who probably deserves to die, ended up living? Exactly, Chrissy. So my thing is, in his mind, he is committing an act of heroism. And the one person he is saying is the one thing that he's trying to prevent, his father ends up doing anyway. So by the time Ned Stark comes into the throne room and sees Ares dead, it's like, you killed this dude for what? You're a straight murderer. in Jamie's mind, he's like, yo, I just saved the city. But Jamie didn't know and didn't find out till later that his father ended up sacking and killing everybody anyway, because, Tywin, you know? So it was it's a very, like, very, it's one of those things that kind of, makes your head think, because naturally as people, when you're watching a show and when you're reading a story and you get engrossed in characters and stuff, you bring your own, you bring your own experiences in how you in how you relate, right? In how you relate to the characters. And Renfrey, for the most part, she's a very, she's a broken person. She's broken. And her brokenness was caused by Stregobor, because Stregobor said that she was a cursed. She was cursed. She was only a child. She was cursed, and her family kicks. I mean, her family just pretty much like, kind of like Snow White, throws her out into the woods and tells the huntsman, gives them some coin. I'm telling you, if you've ever seen the gameplay of the third part of The Witcher, the Wild Hunt, the expansion part, I think it's called, is it Blood and Wine? I believe it's Blood and Wine. The young lady in there was also one of the children that was considered cursed. And it kind of, she has a very similar story to Renfrey. You know what I mean? So Renfrey is broken, and it's because of Stregobor. And in her mind, he's the reason why she suffered and went through everything that she... Listen, the girl's hair can't even grow straight. She got to wear her hair short because her hair can't even grow right. At least in the books, she talks about that, right? And so she's trying to kill this dude. This dude stole her life. So, like, he got to die. And if the people of the town are not going to give him, if they're not going to give him up, she's going to kill people in the town until they do. And, was she right for saying that? Was she right to kill innocent people in order for her to get what she wanted? I don't know. It's kind of like one of those, everybody's a hero in their own eyes. The heart in conflict with itself. Go, George R. Martin. Can I tell y'all, I'm getting a little tipsy. I haven't drank in years. It's been years. Oh, did my chat freeze? I can't see. I don't see nothing new. I don't see anything new. Today is my first day drinking. How you doing, Christy? Yeah, this is my first day. I just, I'm getting older now, and I think I'm grown enough to do this again. I'm not even doing a lot. Listen, I'm just this much. I'm babysitting it. Oh, my feed is blinking a bit. It might be my internet. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Let me refresh. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's very kind. Very kind of you. Um yeah, I'm just trying to, I'm trying glow up season. I'm trying to glow up. I had a very rough couple of years, and I'm just, yeah, I'm just, you know. Hey, Chris, have you read the Witcher stories, or have you seen the show, Chris? It sure is. Skinny girl. Hold on, let me do like the YouTubers. Can y'all see it? Skinny girl. Yeah, that's why I used to drink my it. Look, it serves all purposes. It houses my smoothies, my ginger ale, and this Zinfandel that I'm sipping on. Okay, that is what I'm doing. Oh my goodness, and I'm starting to feel it. You know, um, of course you guys know because you've all drank, but it's been a while since I've had the sensation of when your stomach gets real hot, and then all of a sudden your whole body gets really hot. I know, right? I'm over here showing my lipstick. Okay, so dose of colors. If y'all happen to ever catch this, I am a huge fan of your lipsticks. I have like, oh my goodness, I'm dropping shit. I have, I have a collection. I have a collection. I have a, I have a collection. Oh, you played the? Listen, I don't get into playing the games because I would get tired of dying. So I watch people play the game. I don't play it. Yeah, I have a long list of books myself, but I read the books back in 2000. I came across the books back in 2018, and it was before I watched the gameplay. I came across the books came up as a recommended for me, and then after I read, and I read the series before I read the prequel books. So I had read the whole all five of the books, and then I went back and read the prequel books. There's three prequel books. There's The Last Wish, The Sword of Destiny, and Season of Storms or Storm of Seasons. It's something like Season of Storm, and they're all good. They're all good books, and they're like mini stories, but the way that they place them in the book, it all kind of flows together and makes sense. And we get it. Ooh, another character I hope they bring in season 2 is Mother Ninika. Like, I hope they give her a part. I hope they bring them. Oh my god, I hope they bring Mother Ninika. She is awesome. She's awesome. I like her. She real sassy. Well, they have to because Ciri goes to her and goes to school to learn with her. So yeah. Girl, I'm just coming back. This is like my second time on the live. My first time coming back was around my birthday because I had been gone from YouTube for like almost 2 years. Child, it's been a rough couple of years. Your girl has your I had been suffering for 2 years. But let me not I don't want to get into that because I'm drinking and I don't want to get like caught up all in my emotions. All up in emotions. Please don't strike me for that. YouTube. It was just only like half a second that I said that part of it. Yeah. So, yeah. I should wrap up this whole Witcher live stream because I don't think there's anything else for us to really talk about. Unless y'all wanna, oh, girl, listen, I was suffering. I was suffering. I was in a very dark place for a very long time. Very long time. I know, man. Like that's why you can only do snippets of music unless you go through, you have to buy music and stuff. You have to buy music in order for you to be able to play it or use the YouTube audio library. Okay, so trivia is about to start. AK, can you let people know where they need to go so that they can watch trivia? Let them know where they can go. Where they can go so that they can get the trivia. Because I think my YouTube is I said my YouTube. I think my internet. Whew. Okay, great. AK has the link for you guys to go check out the Citadel of Trivia. I think Chrissy of Olson is one of the moderators for that. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up so that everybody can go ahead and head over there and show some love. And I'm going to be going over there and be in the chats. And hopefully I'll get to see you guys again. And we can kiki and trivia with everybody over there. I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who came to hang out with me and talk a little bit of Witcher. I know I was late. I know I'm late in, having the discussion. I would really love to talk about, those two books, The Last Wish and The Sword of Destiny. I think they're a really great story. So if anybody would be interested after this live is over, just leave, a comments in the bottom of the chat, in the comment section. And then just let me know if you guys would be interested. And then we could just do a discussion on the books while we wait for second season to come in. And maybe we can get through, the Last Wish, The Sword of Destiny, and then start, talking about The Blood of Elves, which is the actual first book in the actual main series, which is it's great story. And if you can, I would really recommend that y'all either Audible, audiobook, or just buy it on however you get your book, Kindle, however. I highly recommend. Again, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me and talking with me. I love all of y'all so much. Thank you for the support. I truly appreciate it. You don't know how much you make this little girl's heart happy. And I'll see you guys over at the Citadel of Trivia. Okay? Bye.